Nobody's safe, including me. This shit is a risk, man. That's why you should never, ever, ever get into this game without having the necessary guidance and mentorship. Back in 2022, so you know anything about COVID and real estate during that time, I was just getting into the game. I would say in 2020, I was a few deals in wholesale-wise. Not a few, more than a few, but getting my feet wet with doing flips. But, man, I remember when I think the first time I ever heard about COVID was December 2019. They was making it seem like it was Ebola or something. Then January 2020 rolled around. They pretty much shut everything down, right after Kobe passed away. Man, bro, that was a sad month. But when they shut everything down, man, just keep in mind, I'm like a little bit a year over dropping out of college. I'm like, oh, shit. I knew this wholesale shit, was too good to be true. I'm like, damn. Real estate over with. Things went quiet for a little bit in February, and then March, I had my first breakout month wholesaling. March of 2020, I did 88,000 in revenue, so I was 21 years old at the time. I felt like I was on top of the world. We consistently closed 80K 3 months in a row. The market went crazy, and the reason the market went crazy is because the Fed, the interest rates went down to 2%. During COVID, which is probably something we will not see again in our lifetimes. But me being pretty much a beginner in real estate, I didn't understand, that was pretty much the perfect time to take out debt, for assets, for property. I made a bunch of money during that time. Probably should have, kept more properties. But, I started building in 2021, did my first construction deal. I broke ground on it October of 2021, sold it summer of 2022, made $350K off that deal. But not long after that, the Fed decided to pretty much double and triple the interest rates. That started in 2022. So by the end of 2022, interest rates had went from 2% to 6, 7%. And when things like that happen, let me put it like this. Whenever you're apartment shopping, we're passing all these apartments in Nashville. It's crazy. They building this skyline up, building all these condos. But let's say you apartment shopping for a condo, and your budget is $2,000 a month. Let's say the person, your leasing agent, brings you to the apartments that's $5K a month. You go tell them, kick rocks, it's not part of my budget. Same thing whenever people are shopping, for a mortgage to buy a house. People buy houses based off what they could afford on a monthly payment. So whenever interest rates double, mortgages double on properties, So to put it in layman's terms, in 2020, you could take out a mortgage on a $500,000 property and probably have a payment of $2,500 a month. And again, I'm using rough math right now, y'all. Fast forward to whenever the Fed hiked interest rates to 6, 7, 8%. That same $500,000 house is gonna cost you $4,500 to $5K a month, So what does that do? Well, now people that could afford $500K houses when the rates were, 2%, they have to go shop for $300,000 houses, So that creates a shockwave in the market. Properties sit longer because the buyer pool, there's less qualified buyers that can get approved for funding. And, I started seeing what it looks like to have properties that you have to pay for holding costs and, not be able to just sell them. So that pretty much exposed a lot of holes in my operation. At the time, I would hire a general contractor to build my houses, and that just wasn't efficient. Nothing against that contractor, because I learned a lot from that general contractor, but for me to build at scale, like I showed y'all today, I had to take things in-house. So instead of paying somebody $25,000, $35,000, $40,000 to build a house for me, I saw that it made more sense investing that money into hiring my own team and pretty much building my own systems and processes and investing into my own operation to where we could, get to where we're at now, So I would say I had to go through the storm to realize that, because my first real estate deal, I kind of got lucky. The market was going crazy. So any mistake I made, the market took care of it. If you buy a property and you underwrite the deal to sell for $450K and it ends up selling for $515,000, you could go $70K over budget and not even notice it. But when it gets crazy is whenever you underwrite a deal to sell for $450,000 and it ends up selling for $400,000 and you go $70K over budget. Now it comes to a point where you start losing money. So I've lost money on deals, and thank God that I'm still here, made it through it. I know some people that didn't make it through it, but you can only do one or two things when things like that happen. Either you could sit there, whine about it, cry about it, and get X'd out the game, or you could sharpen the axe, take that as a learning lesson and get better. That's what we did. That's why we're at where we're at now.